Hello, in this video I am going to talk about text elements on HTML. I prepared as much elements as I can and we are going to talk about all of them. So let's start with heading elements. Heading elements are usually used for titles and they start from H1 and they go until H6. So let's see how it seems on web page. So basically the biggest heading element is H1 and the smallest one is H6. I usually use H1 and H2 for my web pages, but of course you can use any of them as your need. Heading elements are block level elements. What block level element is? We have heading element 1, H1, and H2 here, and H2 starts under this H1. And here we have H3. H3 starts under this H2 element. This is mostly known thing for block level elements. And the content of H1 ends here, but the width actually doesn't end here. We can see it takes whole width of the web page, like we can see here. Of course there is some margin here, so let's fix it, margin 0, and let me add padding as well. So let's do the same thing again. Now we can see that it takes whole width of the web page. There are also inline elements, so let me give an example as well. So span is an inline element. This is span. The width of span ends here. We can also check here. So inline elements don't take whole width of the web page, but it takes the width as it needs. For example, the content ends here and the width is until here. And another thing is, if I add another inline element here, for example, let's add btag. This is a bold text. So B is used for bold text. Here, as we can see, it doesn't start from another line, and it starts from next to the previous item. And here we can see the width of the item ends here again, and it doesn't take the whole width of the web page. But if I add a block level element like ptag, this is ptag, it starts from another line and it doesn't start next to the previous item like this one. So why? Because ptag is a block level element. So I think it is clear. So I am going to continue. So let me comment this. ptag is usually used for paragraphs, so we can make it even longer. So for example, I can add an example text here. So lorem ipsum. So we can add another one as well. So we can see there is some space here, but sometimes it is not enough. So if it is not enough, you can use br text, and we need to close the tag as well. So it is going to give you more space if it is not enough again, so you can use more. So as you can see, so p tags are usually used for paragraphs. We also have span elements like this. Span element is inline element, as I showed. I usually use span elements inside p tags like this. Some p tag, and this is span, and we can see it like this. And I usually give some styles, so it is usually useful if I want to give some style inside some special text, for example. So let's add color red. We can see it is inside p tag, but it has different color. So I usually use span for this purpose, so you can use for different purposes as well. So let me comment this out as well. A tag. A tags are usually used for links. So for example, it takes href attribute and the attribute needs to take a URL. For example, we have example.com. If we click here, it is going to redirect us to the website. Probably I do not have internet connection now, so it doesn't redirect, but it is straightforward. If you click here, it is going to redirect you to the website. And we can also use target. This is another attribute for a tag. And if we click blank, target blank, and save, and if we click here, it is going to open the link in a new tab. I usually prefer to use target blank, but of course you can use as you like. List items. So these are list items: OL, UL, and DL. OL is ordered list, UL is unordered list, DL is description list, and DT defines term, and DD defines description. So let's see how it seems on HTML. This is ordered list, and it takes numbers like this, and this is unordered list, and it takes bullet, and this is description list. DT defines terms and DD defines description, and it seems like this. So let me comment this as well. Block quote. Block quotes are usually used for quotes. For example, this is our quote, and it was taken from Alan Kay, and we also have here cite, so it shows the source of this item. So if you want to take some quote from different websites or from authors, you can use this block quote. Quote is pretty straightforward. It is used for quotes like this. Pre-tag. You can use pre-tag in order to write poems on HTML, but you can also do different things here, like function, quote plus plus return quote. So you can also write your quotes by using pre-tag. So it is a useful tag on HTML. Here I have some different tags like ABBR, cite again, and time. And this shows the abbreviation for API is widely used in programming. So here ABBR used for API, and we use title in order to show what the actual text is. So here we see it as API, but the actual text is, when we go above this API, it shows us the title, and it is application programming interface. And here we have cite again. Probably it was taken from somewhere else. Yes, it is. The Art of Computer Programming is a famous book from Donald Knuth, so it is better to use cite here. And we have time tag here, and it takes datetime attribute, and it shows the time here like this. And you can write the time here like this, and it shows it like this. And on the attribute we can also see it like this. So here I have some different elements on HTML. So I used here BR because all of them are inline elements, so I didn't want them to be next to each other, so it looks better like this. So EM text, EM element and E elements, they look the same, so we can see it like this. Strong and B text, these are the same again. It makes the text bolder. We have mark element here, so it highlights the text like this. It has different background color. Del text, del element, so it basically gives some style, and it seems like deleted. Ints and U elements are the same. It is basically seems like this, underlined. Here we can see the line here, border bottom, so it seems like this. And we have sub element and sub element. So sub element for subscript text, and sub element is superscript element, so they seem like this. Some text here subscript, and it seems under the p tag like this, and superscript text seems on the above of p tag like this. So I actually almost never use these elements, but of course maybe you can need and you can use maybe. And the small element is used to make text smaller like this. This is a small text, but for example, let's use this is normal text. So you can see the difference like this. So I hope this video helps you. Thank you for watching and have a good day.